First today, though, the UK retirement age is set to rise from 66 to 68 within the next decade, meaning millions of us born in the 1970s and later could face the prospect of working 2 extra years. So what do we think about it? Is it fair to expect people to work even longer? It's tough enough sometimes, Gloria. Where do you sit with it?
Well, retirement isn't in my vocabulary.
True.
So I
Very
might be
true.
the worst person to start with. I do understand that a lot of people look forward to their retirement, play their golf, go on holidays for 3 months. I understand that. But for me, I like work. I think it keeps the brain ticking over. At least that's my excuse anyway. And I meet lovely people like you in the audience, but I heard you groan when you heard that. Yeah, I heard you groan. But the thing is that for me, I like it, and it just depends what job you're doing, whether you like your job or whether you don't, whether you're looking forward to your retirement or whether you're not. But I did meet a man in the supermarket last week. I look out for them occasionally, you know. But this man was really well past retirement age, and he said, look, I didn't want to retire, but I was made to retire from my company. And he said, with the cost of living these days, you know, life has changed. And he said, I want to work for this, and I want to work to pay my electricity bill. And I thought there are all sorts of opinions these days, but for me, work does it. I get to lie in a bed sometimes on the set.
Then you're very lucky that you love your work, and you've always loved your work, and it gives you great happiness and enjoyment.
Yes.
A lot of people,
they don't.
No, it's
true. Of course,
and I think Gloria's right. In our industry, in my sort of acting world, you very rarely retire. The job retires you when it's sort of when it's had enough of you. But so
I'm going to tell me something today that you're going to retire me. Is that it?
No. We'll never get rid of you.
Never.
But no, I agree with you. I love working. I am coming up. I'm 65 this year, so I guess I'm a year off what would be the state pension. But I think for a lot of people, it's this government, and I'm not just necessarily blaming this government, although I do hate this government, but it's about the moving of the goalposts, this constant moving of the goalposts. So if you are somebody who has worked purely to feed your family and you have looked forward to taking your pension, you know, because it might tally with your partners if you have a partner, and then it's going to be 67, then it's going to be 68. It's not fair on people because, you know, a year might be too late, and you have the right. Lots of people work in jobs that they can't bear. We're very lucky to go to work. Anybody is who would want to do that anyway. So I just think it's the constant moving of the goalposts, because when we get to 68, that is going to be in a few years, but that wasn't going. They were prospecting that wasn't going to be until 50 years down the line, and some people have a much more rigid way of living, and I don't think it's fair to...
The only point I was going to make is we're not the only country to be doing it. France at the moment, for example, are doing it as well. So sometimes we think, oh, it's just our government or it's just this country, but it's not. It is a trend, and it's only my personal opinion, but I think because the world has changed, life has changed, the cost of living has changed, I think that's a big factor.
I don't think some people kind of do look forward to retiring. Just that thought, oh, well, I've got time off, I can do my own thing, do my garden, whatever. But then there's a lot of loneliness with retirement. You know, some people are on their own at that sort of age, so the social interaction gets less, the loneliness gets less, the inability to move more. And then you see a really steady spiral downhill on their health and their well-being. So I actually think working is good. It's good for the brain.
And people age well these days.
It's nice to have the option. When you've worked for that pension all of your life, you deserve to get it when you were expecting it. But I mean, it's like my mum-in-law. She worked at big department store, John Lewis, till she was 73, and it was only really COVID, and she got a bit nervous, and they were making changes. But she misses it desperately, you know, but I just think it's about having the choice.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, speaking of retirement, getting older, all of us obviously have to age. Well, not you, Kelly, actually. But you're doing all you can to hold it back.
Oh, my word.
This is actually a proper issue, though, isn't it?
You're really worried about it.
You don't want to try and confront it at all.
Yeah, it's like on my social media the other day saying, like, I can't deal with aging. I'm plucking out the grey hair still at the moment, like, literally. Look at me. I think it's...
You're still doing well if you only have to pluck out the odd one.
Yeah.
You're still all right.
And especially if you're just plucking out your head.
just wasn't going to bring that up. I mean, that's for you. No, it's the ageing process. I mean, always slow as the toad. No, I mean, I think it's more the ageing process. So I feel very fortunate to be this age. I think let's get that clear. There's many that don't.
But do you think that's because... Sorry, Denise. Is that because of your fitness? Like, because all your life you've been really fit?
I think it's something to do with that, the physical aspect. So as you get older, as we all know, ladies, you know, the aches and pains do start coming, and it is a mindset, I know that. But I think with people getting to premenopausal, menopausal age, you see those changes, you might see things that you don't normally notice in yourself, you know, don't recover as much.
Yeah.
And also, I think the world changes so quickly that I don't want to miss out. I want my brain to be
technology,
alert.
social media, all of these things you want to be youthful with in your approach.
For sure, and you never know. We don't know what's around the corner. And, you know, the assumption is always that we're going to grow old, which obviously isn't always the case, but just say we do grow old. I don't want to miss out on what's
But the thing is,
next.
if you are worrying, if you are spending every day worrying about ageing, considering you look and are amazing, and in a way living a new life, really, that you're going to... Are you not in danger of ruining the life that you want so much by worrying that you're getting older?
No, because I'm on dry January, because for the past 6 months since coming out, I literally been living my youth, so...
I know!
But you're allowed to do that as well. That is the whole point. There was a friend of mine recently said to me, and I was just talking about how suddenly, you know, you start to see a grey hair that definitely wasn't there just yesterday, and things happen really quite quickly. And she said to me, the second you start making body noises, and I'm talking about, you know, you sit for a bit and the second you get up you go, oh. Or you sit down you go, ah.
Yeah.
Stop it immediately. The second that you get on to the noises, you're on a downward spiral.
I had a big...
You're bringing your age. That's it. You've got to stop it.
I had a big charity event that I do every year, and obviously it's my event. I'm in a big ball gown and I've got big high shoes on because the ball gown's loud. And at the end of the night, when I took the dress and shoes off, the noise was orgasmic.
Or so your husband
Literally. It was the utter bliss of that. I just don't like seeing my age written down. When I see, because I feel fine, I feel better than I have done in a long time, but when I see 65-year-old Doris or something, I just conjure up this little huddled old woman walking along a road. The other thing that changes is that, and this was, I remember when it was about you, the vocabulary changes. So we go from, oh, Gloria fell down, to Gloria had a fall.
Oh, yeah.
Don't we? But on quite a serious note, I was quite sick all over the Christmas period with kidney stones. And it's the first time in my life, because I try never to think of age. Yeah. And I haven't been anxious about it because I'm still doing what I was doing when I was 20 and 30. But it was the first time ever I sat in that chair watching TV. I thought to myself, is this what it's going to be like?
I know.
That's the first time. But you know what? I forgot about it very
back
quickly and came back to work.
Yeah. And that is the mentality, isn't it? It's the power of what the mind is
you know, like
telling
the
you.
machines, treadmills and things like that, and they get you to put your age in. I still put 39. But the problem is, the problem with that is, it's probably going to give me a heart attack. Because like this.
I know.
No, but just very quickly, because I know we're short of
12.
time. It's terrible when you're in a medical clinic and they say date of birth, and you call the date of birth out, and nobody goes, are you sure that's right?
Oh, I know, nobody says it. I would never say to anybody, how old do you think I am? I can never believe it when people ask that question.
Oh, no, absolutely.
Oh, God, why would you?
Why would you go there? Have 2 small children like I do. Trust me, you can fake into a very young age because you have to be strong enough to be there for
we
them,
both
so.
had babies in our 40s.
Exactly.
I'm married to someone 15 years younger. We're doing all right.
Yeah.